Well, we're back again. Hey, we had to scrap that last run on the video because for some reason our internet went out on us in the middle of the process. So we're going to tape it again. We're here to talk about how to get the best answers, brainstorming versus mindstorming. I think I still got enough energy left to do this again. And as you can see, it's May, right? We got the shirt on. It's time for spring. It's time to rock and roll today. For those who got cut off on our original video, I apologize. And we're going to see if we can get through this whole process this time, right? And show you the mindstorming versus brainstorming process. And just for simplicity, brainstorming means I have a room full of people that are shouting answers at me. And mindstorming really means nothing more than I have one person to do it. So if you were on the first broadcast, I apologize because we're going to redo some of what we talked about earlier. So let me get this where I want it. Okay, there we go. Hi, and I'm Coach Manny, and I help organizations to increase sales by helping them to build a sales process that works strategically, tactically, and accountability-wise. And if you're struggling with generating business, if you're struggling with your sales team, if they're not on peak, if you're trying to hire somebody in the sales process, or maybe you're trying to build the sales process for the first time or hire that first salesperson, because you've been doing it, but you need to build your organization. I've been doing this effectively for 20 years. We take organizations to extremes, and I'd love to work with you. So remember that. The question for today is, are you brainstorming and mindstorming effectively? And the second tag to that question is, are you doing any of this as a way to come up with better answers to what you're trying to accomplish? I hope so. We had a lot of guests out there. I feel bad that they all got queued out, but thank you for being here. And those that are with us today, please, I encourage you to share this podcast with other people out there. I encourage you to share it on your Facebook timeline. Get some more people in here. Let people know. And I'll shout out Manuel. We see you there. Len, Shiva. Great to have you all out here today. And, I always like to say hello to the people that are there. And welcome to today's event. And I hope that when we're done here, you're going to feel on top of the world because we've given you something you can really use. Again, today we're talking about how you get the best answers. Is it brainstorming? Is it mindstorming? Or is it something else? Remember, brainstorming, 2 or more people. Mindstorming, 1 person. So let's talk a little bit about this and see if we can start walking you down that road and helping you. And again, appreciate you all being on the live broadcast today. Most of us have been involved in brainstorming at one time or another in our lives. You sit around a room, and it can be as little as 2 people, or it can be 100 people, and there's a question or a problem that as a group, you need to find answers. Now, it might be 20 answers. It might be more, but there's no judgment. There are no wrong answers. Just shout out your answer, and we're going to put them up on the list. And it's a great exercise, and I've used it to solve problems in the past. Mindstorming, on the other hand, which I first learned from Brian Tracy at one of his seminars, is the same thing, but it's a lone thing. You're alone. And for some of you entrepreneurs or people who are looking to be entrepreneurs out there, you know what I mean. You're alone. You sit down with a problem and you take a piece of paper and literally, this is what we do, 1 to 20, and you start popping the answers in. And you don't stop until you have 20 answers. Again, no judgment, no wrong answers. Just write them as you go along. another very powerful tool to help you in solving problems. And no matter what business we're in, we have issues, we have things we have to deal with. The other day I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts, and we have our podcast, Targeted Lead Generation, and I love listening to other podcasts. It's what I do when I'm walking, when I'm driving. I've always got somebody on teaching me something because it's a tremendous way to build your business. And the other day I was listening to my favorite podcast, I won't kid you, Entrepreneur on Fire with JLD. And he gave me some very interesting insight, or his guest actually did, which I want to share with you today, which I've taken and then kind of applied in a process to help us in helping our clients. His guest was Shane Snow. And if you don't know who Shane is, he's the author of a great book called Dream Teams. And if you have anything to do with team management, team building, or anything like that, please get a copy of Dream Teams. Now, Shane was talking about what happens when you have one person working a solution as opposed to a team. One person, and it can be you. You work very hard. We know when we're on our own, we work very hard, don't we? But what happens when you take two people who work very hard and you put them together? You get more effort than one person, right? Because two heads are better than one. How many times have we been told that? We've been told that over and over. But do you get twice the effort? Is it twice as effective? No. And when you put together, each player actually gives less than if they work alone. And I want you to think about that for a minute. And there's more effort, but it's not doubled. And if you put 10 people together, do you get 10 times as much effort? No. Actually, you only get, I think at the high number, 7.4 or something. I can't remember where that number came from, but perhaps it was on the podcast that day. The interesting thing is, and when you think about this, when you're working by yourself, you are hustling, right? But when you're working with two of you, let's be honest, sometimes we're not working as hard as we might work by ourselves. And so the point is that when we do brainstorming, which is an individual process, when you do brainstorming, which is the group process, and I've seen this many times, not everyone gets involved. I've seen a brainstorming, especially, when you have two people, everyone has to be involved. But when you start getting 3, 4, 5, 10 people in a room and you're working on a problem, not everyone gets involved because some people, they're shy. They don't want to. I don't care if you tell them it doesn't matter. We're not judging it. Let's just put it on the list. Some people are still not going to answer. Some people are introverted and they just don't answer. And trust me, I was a very introverted person at one time, and those who have read my networking book know that story about how introverted I was at one time. And some people, especially as entrepreneurs, we don't like to play in groups. We don't play well with others. That's a big problem that people always tell us. You don't play well with others. And the net result is we might be losing some of the best answers we should be getting if this happens to us. And we don't want to lose those great answers. So what happens if we take mindstorming and brainstorming and somehow we integrate and put them together? Do we maximize the process? The next time you have a problem to solve, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take your team and I want you to have each one of them work the problem individually. In other words, I want you to get each one of them to mindstorm the idea or the problem or the issue, whatever it is. And I want you to give them the thing on a sheet of paper and have them, I want you to come up with 20 answers for everything here. For this problem, I want each of you to go out on your own and put together 20 answers. Then you take somebody who can put all these things together from all the people, and get rid of the duplicates and create a final sheet of here's all the ideas that came out of this session. Wow. Now, if you have a session, think about this for a minute. If you have a session and you are brainstorming an idea, and there are 5 people in the room, and you come up with maybe 15, 20 ideas. If you take those same 5 people and each one puts 20 ideas together, you're going to have at least 35 to 40 good answers. Wow. You'll have ideas that you would have never come up with because people have to give an answer, right? I'll give you a real life scenario because I've already implemented this. This thing is so powerful that I've already got payback on this. I have a client who always wants to put everybody in a room. Let's brainstorm this idea. Come on, let's get in the conference room immediately. Let's get the team in the room and brainstorm. And we do it, and the results are good, but I don't think they're as great as they could be. So I tweaked the process a bit, and now when we have a problem, we give it to everyone in the group. And basically we say, okay, you got 30 minutes to come up with 20 ideas on your own. Then we give all those to one of our admin people, and he or she puts them all together and then creates a list. So we have 5 people who are working a problem. They have 100 ideas. 60 of them are duplicates, and we end up with 40. Then the team sits down. But first, then the team gets the answers, and they sit down themselves and go through. And then we put everybody together, and we look at the answers, and we find the best solution. And it is powerful. I cannot tell you how important and how powerful it is. It's amazing what happens. Instead of a room full of people who are being taken from what they feel they should be doing, who are not going to say anything anyway, we get dozens of ideas that we would have never even considered. I want you to really think about this. Every time I do this session, every time I talk about this, I get more excited because I see the power in helping you and your organization. It's a great productivity aid. So the next time you need to solve a problem, I encourage you to work with the concept and see what you come up with. And here's the 3 steps. I'm going to kind of recap them. And we tried to do this before and we got kicked out. So let's see if we can get there. You write the problem down and give it to all the team members. And have each of them mindstorm 20 ideas to the question. No stopping until they get 20. Then they have to turn this over to someone who's going to go through these, remove the dupes, and come up with a master list. Then they're going to send that master list back to all the members and have them review on their own. And then you're going to get together as a group and you're going to work on the problem. You will be amazed. I encourage you to share this on your network with others that are out there. I encourage you to, this will be out on the blog, on Coach Manny's blog, coachmanny.com. You just go out there, you go to click on blog, and you'll see this on Monday. It'll be in script, and the video will be out there as well. And then we'll also on Monday, it'll be on the podcast. So if you go to iTunes under Targeted Lead Generation, you'll see this information. Share it, use it, and watch what happens. But today, I have an offer for you today. Just an opportunity. If you are an entrepreneur out there, if you're a salesperson, if you're looking to potentially put your own operation together, then please get a hold of our 2 free courses. Just go out and I'm going to put this link over here. These are both free courses. They are tremendous opportunity and a way for you to learn and to grow your business. There's the 2 links out there. I just share them out there with you today. Um, get out there, and one of these courses, the first free course is, and again, the link is coachmanny.com. So if you listen to this on a podcast, I know you don't have that visibility. coachmanny.com, and click on free courses. You'll be amazed. Free course 1, how to define your target market. Just like we're teaching you today, that's how these courses work. We teach you the elements of doing things more effectively to grow. Course 1 is how to define your target market. It's right from our $1,000 Double Your Sales course. Full video and worksheet. This is one of the lessons in that course. It has over an hour of video. It has work processes in there. And if you need to define who am I really going after, and you've heard me talk about how critical and how important that is, this course helps you get there. The second course will run you through 7 lead generation techniques. Now, if you've read our book, Targeted Lead Generation, I think we had, last count, we had over 40 in there. This took 7 of those and runs you through some education on those 7 methods. And both of these are absolutely free. Thank you. I hope we've taught you something today, and I hope this will help you in building your business. Please share this. Please hang out with me. We get here every Friday at around 10:30 in the morning. We're running way behind today because we actually got blown out of our first show, but thanks for being here today. I would love to hear from you. Email me, private message me, call me, connect with me. I want to talk to you about your business and about growing your business and about just, are these tools helping you? If you get the free courses, send me some feedback. If you use this technique that we talked about today, please give me some feedback, because I want to hear some more life stories. Like I told you the story about how we're implementing it. Tell me how you maybe had some successes, or maybe it didn't work for you. Even I would like, failure teaches, right? Because we know failure creates success. So thanks for being with me today. And I hope to see you again next Friday, as we're always here helping people to learn, to grow, and to become better, stronger, more profitable entrepreneurs. Because at Coach Manny, we have one mission, and that is to build your top line. And that's what we help you do. Thank you for being here. Love the shirt. If you got a shirt, tell me about those shirts. I love Hawaiian shirts, but and you're going to see that color as we go through the summer. Enjoy, and I will see you next week.